Hi everyone, I'm Shubhurani Kupusami here. Today, as a group, we will be discussing a very important global issue which is gender inequality. To begin, I will talk about what gender inequality is, why it matters, and how it affects millions of people around the world. Gender inequality means unfair treatment or discrimination based on a person's gender, and sadly, this issue mostly affects women and girls. All children, no matter their gender, deserve a fair chance to live, grow, and succeed. But research shows that females often face fewer opportunities, lower pay, and less access to education, jobs, and leadership roles. So, what is causing this? Often, it's cultural norms, outdated traditions, and unfair laws that prevent women and girls from reaching their full potential. But here's why it matters for everyone, not just women. When half of our population is held back, the entire society suffers. Gender inequality doesn't just hurt individuals, it holds back progress, innovation, and peace for all of us. That's why the United Nations created Sustainable Development Goal 5, which focuses on gender equality. Its mission is to empower all women and girls and ensure they have the same rights and chances as men to live free from violence, discrimination, and fear anywhere in the world. Let's remember gender equality is not just a goal, it is a right. And together we can help create a world where everyone is treated fairly, respected, and given equal opportunities. Thank you. That's all from me.
Hi everyone, my name is Shalini and my matrix number is 2211515568. Today I would like to briefly highlight some key statistics that reveal the ongoing challenges women face in the workforce. First of all, women earn on average 16,183 less per year than a man. This gap is not just a number, it represents missed opportunities, undervalued works, and also long-term financial consequences for millions of women. In fact, the national gender pay gap currently stands at 17.3%. This means that for every dollar a man earns, a woman earns only about 83 cents. And this isn't due to difference in effort or education. It's often due to systematic inequalities, unconscious bias, and a lack of support for women in leadership roles. Looking at workforce participations, more than two-thirds of part-time workers are women. This reflects the reality that many women juggle both paid work and unpaid caregiving responsibilities. And when we consider mothers, the number are even more striking. Only 6.3% women with children under 5 work full time. This highlights how childcare responsibilities continue to disproportionately affect women's career choices and earning potentials. This figure should make us think critically about which equality truly matters, not just in theories but in practice too. To close the gap, we need inclusive policies, flexible work arrangements, affordable childcare, and also, most importantly, a cultural shift that values women's contributions equally. Thank you.
Hi, all of you. This be a point of view. My name is Ahmad Shafiq bin Ramal. I am from SMU 1202 Industrial Psychology from engineering class. I am from year 1 electrical system maintenance from electrical faculty. The metric number is 241491 304. So for my category or for my part, which is a real life example. So the first one is child marriage. Over 12 million girls under 18 are married off each other, particularly in regions with high poverty and limited access to education. Child brides are often pulled out of school, face early pregnancies, and are more likely to suffer from domestic violence and health complications due to early childbirth. For the secondly, gender-based violence. Every 11 minutes, a woman or a girl is killed by a family member or intimate partner. This statistic reflects the widespread issue of domestic and gender-based violence. Such violence not only causes physical harm but also deeply affects mental health and economic independence. Thirdly, unpaid care work. Globally, women spend 3 to 6 hours more per day on unpaid care work than men, such as cooking, cleaning, and taking care of children or the elderly. This restricts women's ability to pursue education, employment, or leisure and further deepens economic inequality. Fourthly, forced marriage and human trafficking. Millions of women and girls are subjected to forced marriage and modern-day slavery, where they lose personal autonomy and are often exploited sexually or economically. These cases are most prevalent in conflict zones and impoverished areas. Fourthly, underrepresentation in leadership, women remain underrepresented in political and corporate leadership roles. For instance, as of recent data, only about 26% of parliamentary seats globally are held by women, and less than 10% of Fortune 500 CEOs are women. Last but not least, educational disparities. In many parts of the world, especially sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia, girls are less likely to attend school due to cultural norms, safety concerns, or lack of access to sanitary products. This deprives them of basic literacy and life skills needed for future success. Lastly, healthcare inequality. Women often face discrimination in healthcare system, with studies showing that women's pain is taken less seriously by medical professionals, leading to misdiagnosis or undertreatment. Reproductive health services are also restricted in some countries, limiting women's autonomy over their bodies. That's all for me. My name is Ahmad Shafiq Namal, and that's all for me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hi everyone, my name is Darshini Ramakrishnan. My metric number is 2211515882. Today I want to talk about impacts of gender inequality, an issue that affects people all around the world. Gender inequality is more than just a concept. It's a reality faced by many individuals, particularly women. Well, let's think about our own life for a moment. Imagine facing a barrier just because of our gender. Whether it's earning less for the same work, being overlooked for opportunities, or not having a say in important decisions. Unfortunately, that's the reality for many women, girls, and gender diverse individuals. They often experience lower pay, fewer opportunities, limited access to education compared to men. Nevertheless, on a personal level, this inequality doesn't just affect careers or finances, but it takes a toll on mental well being too. Constant discrimination can lead to stress, anxiety, and feel less valued. Imagine working hard just as anyone else, but still struggling to gain independence because of unfair pay or limited job options. But it doesn't stop there. Gender inequality also shapes how our whole society functions. When discrimination become normalized, it reinforces harmful violences and harmful gender roles. It's like a cycle that keeps repeating, limiting how people can express themselves or feel valued within their communities. We can't change the world overnight, but still, we can start by being aware of these issues. Therefore, supporting equal opportunities, speaking up, and respecting each other's rights can be small but impactful steps. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Arazika bin Muhammad Rizal. My matrix number is 2314-93839. Today I want to talk about a solution about gender discrimination. Gender discrimination and gender-based violence remain serious challenge for our today. To create just an equal society, we must take strong and effective action. First, we need to enforce a strong law against gender discrimination and gender-based violence. This law must not only exist on paper, they must be fully implemented with real consequences for those who violate them. Everyone deserves to live and work in their safety and dignity. Second, we need to challenge and change negative stereotypes about gender roles from an early age. People are exposed to limiting belief about what men and women can or cannot do. Through education and awareness campaign, we can break this outdated idea and promote respect, equality, and opportunity to all. Third, it is essential to encourage and support women to take leadership role. both in the workplace and politics. When women have a seat in the table, decisions are more exclusive or better reflects the needs of all members of society. Lastly, we must enforce policies that ensure women and men are paid fairly for the same work. Equal pay is not just about fairness, it's about valuing everyone's contributions equality. That's all for me. Thank you everyone for listening to my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Ahmad Sharifuddin Muhammadiyah. Today we will talk about the gender discrimination in different sectors. There is several sectors where it shows the gender discrimination, and today we will talk about the education sectors. Education is often referred to as the foundation of opportunity, but gender discrimination continues to create a gap in how boys and girls experience learning. In many parts of the world, especially in low and middle income countries, girls still face significant barriers to accessing quality education. These barriers may include poverty, early marriage, cultural beliefs, lack of transportation, unsafe school environments, or simply the belief that investing in a boy's education is more valuable than a girl's. Even when girls are enrolled in school, the discrimination doesn't stop at the classroom door. Subtle bias in teaching methods, curriculum content, and school expectations can reinforce gender stereotypes. For example, textbooks may portray men as leaders, scientists, and problem solvers, while women are shown in caregiving or passive roles. Teacher may unconsciously call on boys more often in math and science class or expect them to excel in the subject while assuming girls will do better in literature and arts. A powerful, real-world example of gender discrimination in education can be seen in Afghanistan, where the Taliban government has repeatedly restricted girls' access to schooling. Since their return to power in 2021, girls above the 6th grade have been banned from attending school, and women have been barred from universities. Despite protests from within the country and international condemnation, the ban remains in place, robbing an entire generation of girls of their right to education. This not only limits their personal development but also threatens the long-term progress and economic future of the nation as a whole. In contrast, Malala Yousafzai's story from Pakistan brings attention to both the challenges and the fights for equality. At just 15 years old, Malala was shot by the Taliban for speaking out in support of girls' education. She survived and went on to become the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Her story highlights and deep-rooted cultural and political resistance to girls' education in some regions, but also the courage and resilience of those who stand against it. Her advocacy continues to inspire global efforts to ensure every girl has the right to learn, regardless of where she lives. That is all from me, Ahmad Sharifuddin Muhammadiyah. We will continue to another sectors.
We will be talking about gender discrimination in healthcare and STEM sector, two fields that show how deeply gender stereotypes still influence our workplaces. Let's start with the healthcare sector, specifically in nursing. Nursing is often seen as feminine profession because it does involve caregiving, a trait that traditionally associated with women. Men who pursue or choose nursing career were stereotyped as homosexual, sexually deviant, and also emasculated. Therefore, in clinical setting, male nurses often face discomfort when giving personal care, worrying that their touch might be seen as inappropriate. Many also feel unwelcome in certain areas such as obstetric and also maternity. Because of these challenges, male nursing student tends to drop out more than female, and even those who become nurse are more likely to leave the profession. According to a report from World Health Organization (WHO), in Southeast Asia, there is only 21% of male nurses in nursing field. In STEM field, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, women face different sets of barriers. Because these fields are typically male-dominated, women often struggle to be accepted or promoted. Women also face wage gap, limited leadership opportunities, and in some cases, sexual harassment. According to a study, approximately 22% of women who work in STEM jobs have reported experiencing sexual harassment, which is higher than the 7% reported by men. This example underscore how gender stereotype and discrimination limit opportunities for both men and women depending on the field. Therefore, addressing this issue is very crucial to promote gender equality.
Hi everyone, my name is Nurul Nadira binti Ahmad Azlan. My metric number is 231493843. Today I would like to talk about a conclusion of gender inequality. Okay, in conclusion, gender inequality is a large problem in numerous areas of life, including the workplace, school and medical care. Data and daily evidence paint a picture of how women and a gender non-conformation individuals are often discriminated against, excluded from the opportunities and exposed to a gender violence. Gender inequality not only affects individuals economically and psychologically but also maintains unhealthy social norms. However, change is possible through a concerted effort. Enacting strict anti-discrimination laws, conducting campaigns to raise awareness and placing women in a powerful leadership position are a key step. Building a diverse work culture that emphasizes open communication, psychological safety, and thought diversity is a key to achieving a balance of genders. With consistent awareness and action, we can create a more equitable and a fair future for all. Thank you so much for listening.